Hello everyone, I'm the instructor today. In this lesson, we'll focus on drawing both the plan and elevation views of a flower border. What can a plan view help us with? It allows us to quickly choose and arrange plants that are suitable for the current season. The process of drawing a plan view is essentially a part of our design thinking. It helps us select and arrange plant species that are appropriate for the current time of year. With this process, we can determine which leaf shapes and plant types will ultimately create the desired landscape effect. Once we have drawn the plan view, we essentially have a clear idea of the plant species we will use. The elevation view complements the plan view by helping us assess whether the layering of the chosen plant species is logical and whether the color combinations look harmonious. It provides a more intuitive visual representation. Now, let's move on to the practical part of our lesson. We'll be drawing the plan and elevation views for a rectangular flower bed that is 10 meters long and 5 meters wide. You can see the flower border site we'll be working with a 10 meter by 1.5 meter rectangular area. We'll use a scale of 1/25 for this exercise. We've already drawn the basic outline, so let's begin the actual drawing. Before starting the drawing, the key to creating a good plan view for a flower border is understanding the plants. For this time of year, between October and November, the plants suitable for the East China region include Eupatorium japonicum, Ruellia, and ornamental grasses like Miscanthus, which offer great visual appeal. You can also incorporate flowering plants, such as Mexican sage, mist flower, and aster. These plants can be effectively used in our design. Now, let's begin our drawing. As we proceed, you'll see some of the plant species I've chosen. You can notice that I've drawn many patches on the plan. During the drawing of patches, since I have extensive experience in designing and constructing flower borders, I'm quite familiar with the plants suitable for each season. For those of you who are less familiar, it might be helpful to list the species you want to use on the side of your drawing first. For example, list what tall plants you'll use, what ornamental grasses, round cover plants, and hanging plants you'll select. You then can start arranging them according to the structure you want to create. During the drawing process, you may have noticed that I sometimes work on one side, then switch to another. I do this to establish the layering of the taller plants I've chosen first. The plants I've selected include ornamental grasses, vertical stemmed perennials, and various plants in blue and purple hues, which I'm using as the main color theme for this design. Now, I'm going to label the larger plants, then switch the basic pencil sketch to a pen sketch using a technical pen. To do this, you can start by drawing guidelines for your labels. This way, you can begin labeling your plants, starting with the taller plants. I usually begin with the ornamental grasses because their leaf shapes often serve as key structural elements in the design. Next, I'll choose the second tall plant. For this design, I'm using 3 main tall plants, Miscanthus, Eupatorium japonicum, and blue sage. Now, moving on to the flowering plants. With the blue and purple color scheme as the primary focus, I'll add another clump of Eupatorium japonicum in the middle. As I mentioned earlier, drawing the plan view is a process of sketching out ideas. You might have noticed that while I was drawing, I frequently switched between working on the left side and the right side. This is because I was assessing the layering and distribution of elements to see if they were reasonable and whether the overall relationships were working well. I was also checking if the colors had a certain continuity and rhythm to them. The process of drawing allows for constant adjustments. As the plan view is a creative and conceptual process, it helps us to optimize the layout of the entire plan. At this point, most of the taller plants, middle layered color foliage plants, and flowering plants in our layout have been labeled. We may still add 2 to 3 more species, including ground cover plants and some shorter, linear plants. For the taller linear plants, I primarily used Miscanthus. In the foreground, I've drawn canna lilies. Additionally, I might add some even shorter linear plants in the front to create an interwoven relationship between the foreground and background. Now that the entire plan for the flower border is complete, we've essentially finalized the plant species we'll use and established the color scheme. Now, let's use the plan view as a basis to draw the elevation view. Many people find it challenging to determine the correct direction and proportional relationships in an elevation view. To address this, you can start by roughly sketching the shapes with a pencil. Begin by identifying the tallest plants to establish the overall proportions. For example, the tallest plants, like miscanthus blue sage, reach about 1.2 to 1.5 meters. You can mark a point on your paper to represent the maximum height. If you are unfamiliar with this process, you can make notes on the side, indicating the heights of the plants, such as 1.5 meters. You can then mark several points that correspond to the approximate heights of the plants you've chosen as a reference. Next, sketch out the general block relationships of the plants. If you find that your drawing tends to become skewed, you can draw a curve on the plan view as a symmetry line to check if the proportions are consistent. Now that we've established the basic framework of the elevation view, we can proceed to detail the specific plants within the design.